a lot of people feel like we've swung the pendulum too far in the direction of being highly metriced, data driven exclusively, and being like, look, we need to bring the soul back into our business, and we need to think about brand and how that influences pipeline and revenue. The tough part is brand's kind of hard to measure. So how do you, as someone that does have a brain for brand, measure the impact on revenue to your broader customer facing team?
Yes, always a challenging question to answer because there's never going to be one exact answer, especially when it comes to measuring the effectiveness of brand and brand teams. But it's really something that can be answered when merging things together. So there are tangible metrics you can get that will say a design or something that a concept we put together is or is not working. If it's a digital experience we're designing for, obviously it's not the designs team's challenge to get people to the page, but once they are getting there, what's the experience? How long are they spending on the page? What's the conversion rate? Can we impact that with the change to the designs? So there are definitely metrics from a performance standpoint, depending on what we're talking about. How's the content performing? How is the campaign performing? Then there's less tangible things, which is just, the brand in general, just the design overall. How are you measuring that? There's ways within PR you can measure that, share of voice, positivity, net promoter score, things like that. But I would say, I think a creative team needs to maintain the creative aspects of what drives them at their job, meaning they have to be able to think outside the box, try new things, experiment. It's important to make sure they understand what they're designing for, what the goals of the piece are, what the key message is, but allow them to give that freedom. A lot of times I'll measure a brand team's performance in a very indirect way, which is that are people coming to me saying that they're having good experiences designing with the people on my team? Are they coming with different ideas? Are they open-ended? Do they work well with criticism? Are they able to kind of deliver at the dates and the timelines that they were expected? Generally, I have a pretty good feel for these things, and that's how I know if the team is working well. And it's kind of more on me to make sure that the output, what we are producing is performing well. Is the content performing well? Is the tactic actually being effective? Are we maximizing the use of a piece of content or something that we produced? Oftentimes the answer is no. There's more ways that you could be using it to make it more effective. So it's, not an exact answer, which I think is often the case here. But I think it's, as long as the design team understands the goal of what we're trying to achieve, they want to know that it performs well as well. And I can bring that back to them. Hey, this did really well for this reason. So we should keep using that kind of that approach from a design perspective.